Good day, everyone. I am Matt Harrison, and you are listening to the Geary Cast, the Malaga fan podcast on Sport Direct Radio and as part of the Sports Social Podcast Network. Another Andalusian derby is on the horizon this Sunday afternoon as Malaga head for La Isla, aka San Fernando, chasing one more point to secure that playoff spot. We'll preview that game. Plus, we have updates on Ramon's injury and Altani's bizarre invitation to help him with his recuperation. Plus, we have news regarding the 120th anniversary Legends game in a couple of weeks' time. And speaking of Malaga Legends, let me introduce my Geary Cast co-hosts. First of all, we have Nick Bell. How are you, Nick?
I'm very well, Matthew Harrison. Oh, full name. That was weird. Yeah, very good. How are you?
I am very good. I'm very good. It is almost the weekend. How are you, Luke Chambers?
I am very well, mate. I'm exhausted. Finished work, painted the garden. To which, obviously, you paint some decking and then your black Labrador just lays on the decking. So, currently looks a bit of a mess, that dog does. But yeah, besides that, we're happy. We're here for Malaga.
Excellent stuff. First, though, we're not going to talk about, the current Malaga. Let's go and talk about the good old Malaga and this Malaga Legends game. So it was the announcement today about when this game's going to happen, who's going to be there, and ticket pricing and stuff. So I'll do the boring stuff. It is on a Friday night, 24th of May, 8 p.m. I think it's going to be about 10 to 15 euros, and the players have been announced. I will not read the whole list out, but Nick Bell, do you want to give me some sort of highlights from the list to start with?
Oh, well, if you're in for absolute complete Malaga legends and you are in the right place for this Partido Leyendas, Van Nistelrooy, Duda, Willy Caballero, Baptista, your favourite Luke Camacho's there.
Yes.
It's a who's who of Malaga legends, and to be honest, has completely shot beyond my expectations by about a fucking mile. Because I was thinking, oh, can't wait to see Alex Fabas back, class as a Malaga legend. But this is a proper Legends game.
Yeah, Luke, any particular highlights on there for you?
Like Nick's just mentioned, a personal favourite myself is Ignacio Camacho. I'm a massive fan of him. He probably will get injured during this game. I think that's how Camacho does it these days. But yeah, these kind of games are just fun. It's obviously celebrating the 120 years. I reckon they'll get a good crowd. Should get a good crowd in. I think I've just seen that you can buy up to 6 tickets at once. So they're really pushing for a packed La Rosaleda.
Are you tempted? Are you tempted?
No, not this time.
I'm tempted.
I've got Tarragona in my mind, so I'm trying to take that over.
I'm not going because I've literally booked my train to Madrid that weekend. I think my train leaves Malaga about 7:30, which is obviously half an hour before this game kicks off. So
it's quite strange for the game. Like this kind of game in, say, the UK, it happened pre-season, surely. So like yourself, Matt. I know there's not going to be a lot of Malaga fans going up to Castilla, but I don't know if there's 200 or 300. That 200 or 300 would probably be interested in this game.
Yeah, they're probably not going up on Friday night like me, though. I'm going for a crazy weekend in Madrid because it is my 36th birthday the day before, so I've got to kick off the 36th year with a bang.
And you've got Taylor Swift to go watch as well.
Pardon?
You've got Taylor Swift to go and watch as well.
Yeah,
so Got to get them there early for that.
And Alex Ashmore. Alex and Taylor Swift, they're going out for a meal together, these three.
There is one name on that list as well, which I think is very pertinent to us at the Geary Cast. The Geary Cast fan, Brahim Thiam. He is playing the Legends game.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. And we did at one point, really early on when we started the Geary Cast, we even exchanged emails. I even had an address to go to at one point. Kiki Musampa's playing as well. We come very close to interviewing him once, but his party lifestyle, I think, got in the way of it ever really happening because he's quite a fun guy, I'm told.
I think he's Chris Marquez's all-time favourite player, isn't he? you like to mention?
Championship manager legend as well.
Yeah,
As well as Malaga legend.
I was trying to think if I've been to many of these games. And I realized I've been to two. I've been to a Man United Real Madrid Legends game where Ruud van Nistelrooy actually played a half at each, which was quite fun. And your favourite Zidane played, Nick, and we'll leave that there. And also I saw Slovak Legends against Spain Legends in Slovakia, but there weren't too many huge names in Spain. There were some good ones. Santiago Esguero who played for Athletic and Barcelona, and maybe Salinas. I meant to look at that list again.
Who may we know for Slovakia, Matt?
Igor Balis scored the penalty that took West Brom to the Premier League.
Oh, very nice.
Remember it well.
And there's a couple of others, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And I beat the soccer as well.
They are a big thing, though. Like, if Malaga can get this right, it's something that, you do more often or not. Because if you've got a team that's like that and you can call upon them, the same way that recently, I don't know if you saw that Sven-Goran Eriksson managed the Liverpool Legends against an Ajax Legends.
Yeah.
Alex Ashmore was at a Real Madrid Legend game, which was literally the Galacticos of 2005.
They were a good team.
It was an insane team.
Yeah.
These
teams like tour the world now as well, don't they? They go to like Asia a lot, like a Real Madrid Legends and a Barcelona Legends.
I've got a bit of a scenario for this game. So obviously we speak every week about Sergio Pellicer's future. Should he stay? Should he go? Will he stay? Will he go? Somebody who's playing in this game was kind of linked to this job. A certain Ruud van Nistelrooy. Could a contract be signed on that Friday night?
Imagine that. Have to be an ambitious bit of selling that for
it would.
I know you took PSV to within an inch of the title in your first go.
You never know. He might have bought a new place down Marbella.
Well, don't forget Billy Caballero as well. His assistant manager of recently promoted championship champions Leicester City.
Yep.
So
there's Salva Ballesta as well, who of course has managed along quite a few clubs down here and Algeciras, and he's just been sacked from somewhere, hasn't he? But I can't remember where. Maybe it was San Kenya. No, it wasn't San Kenya.
No, he's just been hired by someone. I think it was somebody local.
We've also got
Estepona.
That was it. Yeah.
And I can tell you that Catania does coaching down here because he has links with my school and does soccer school and things like that. So maybe his first
as well. He's got that job in Brazil. Well, I assume he still has that job in Brazil.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the Legends game. It'll be a fun Friday. Pardon?
Pellicer shitted himself.
It's the unveiling of the new gaffer.
Yeah. Do you reckon Pellicer is going to see Taylor Swift?
Well, if he's on his way out, maybe he's thinking whilst in Madrid, maybe I'll do that. I think Taylor Swift.
I expected one of you two to say a song title name or something then to do with leaving. I don't know any Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah, I think he needs to just shake it off.
There you go. No. Moving on.
We knew he was trouble when he walked in.
Jesus Christ, here we go.
I know them all. My 6-year-old daughter listens to them religiously.
She I think is a Swiftie is the guy on the touchline that always wears the nice clothes. I bet he's a Swiftie.
Yeah, he is a cool guy.
And David LaRubia. Just trying to think of one of the young lads. Anyway, speaking of the young lads, we go to sadder news, I guess, with Ramon Enriquez. Of course, when we recorded the podcast earlier in the week, we discussed the injury picked up in the 22nd minute of the game on the weekend. It seemed to be his thigh again, and it's been reported that is the case. It doesn't sound like we're going to see him again this season. I've heard weeks mentioned rather than months, but, that's what happened last time. So obviously that is very sad news. The other layer to this story, though, came yesterday evening, basically, with Altani's back on Twitter, and he's been using it a lot more recently. So I'll just read his tweet out. It's not the It's not the most grammatically sound I've ever read, but it's if the news about the player's injury, Ramon Enriquez, it's real Malaga Club de Football. I'm willing to ensure the player's treatment, only if he accept and qualify him and return to the field through Aspetar Hospital in Qatar and practicing a favourite hobby. I get the gist of it. He's basically says he'll take him to Qatar, and I did actually Google Aspetar Hospital, and it is like a hyper modern, state of the art hospital. I noticed Neymar's been there, and Mo Farah was the other name that came up when I Googled it. Any thoughts on the injury, Nick, or Altani's invitation?
It's obviously very sad for Ramon, and you could see, I didn't do the review show the other day, but you could see it on his face that he was generally gutted when he's pulled up and being removed as a precaution, because it must be mentally so difficult for him, to be that good at football and to be that young and continuously get injured. It will definitely be taking his toll. The Altani tweet was interesting because obviously you want nothing to do with him, but he's also offering this super duper state-of-the-art hostel, which actually might help him out. So I don't see a world where it's going to happen. It also made it sound like he was going to conduct the surgery on him himself. That's the way I read it. It was like, I will take him in and I will do this to him. So I was a bit like, you can't just do what you want, Altar. You can't operate on players and things like that. But yeah, yeah, but it's just more bollocks from Altani, isn't it? He takes any opportunity to tweet nonsense. Half the time, you copy and paste it from the week before. So this was a refreshing change of rhetoric for once.
Yeah, and I think it might have been even Keith, our pal Keith, just saying to like Altani, "You've never even seen him play." It was like, yeah, fair point. Nick,
whoever gave this guy a keyboard, he's meant to be. I mean, we know he's a disgustingly bad owner of a football club, but like we saw with the Forest guy the other week, owners should not tweet and stuff like that. This geezer, like Nick just said, it's a copy and paste every week about I apologise to the fans. None of the fans give a fuck. Never mind, you're taking one of the players under your wing to your secret lair.
Yeah, to your secret hospital of Bayonne.
Poor Ramon.
But it's weird. I think if he genuinely wants to do something about it and be involved in that way, then he should. If he's got a clear conscience and he's proven that he's not done anything wrong and he comes back and things like that, then he just needs to do that. But like Keith said, why don't you come to La Rosaleda? Why don't you come and watch him play? Why don't you come and visit? Why has it all got to be going to Qatar? Because you can't. Because you can't.
Yeah, so I don't know if just going away from post the Altani aspect, I don't know if you guys have heard any different. Do you think he will be here next season? Do you think this injury might spell the end? Do you think he might still be injured at the start of next season?
Well, like I said the other night, Matt, this could maybe work in our favour a bit to do with the contractual situation. If he's injured, many players might forget about him a little bit. The thing is, like, I don't think we're going to know the extent of this injury come until like pre-season, because even if it's a knock, it don't really make sense for him to play again this season. It's clearly a recurring problem. However, if pre-season comes and Ramon is still injured, I mean, I think, what did we hear last year about October when they said, oh, he might be ready, and then it went week after week after week after. And like Nick says, it must be so frustrating for him because he's such a good player.
Yeah, absolutely. Just moving on, I put this in the agenda. I don't think there's much to say about it really, but apparently Malaga's cleaning company, Lim Sama, who have been working with the club for 20 years, are now saying they haven't been paid recently and they want their money. Any thoughts on the poor cleaning company? It's not a good look. I can say that.
No, it's going to be hard to wash off, really. Yeah.
The whole situation just stinks, really.
One
more.
Well, okay. Well, there's not much else to say, so let's go on and talk about how we can hopefully clean up in San Fernando.
One more.
Come So let's preview that game. First of all, we'll talk about because we usually say, look, how amazing our fans are and the way fans and stuff. And Luke's only just alerted me to this just before we started recording that about, what was it, 300, just over 350 tickets have been sold, which I think last season I'd be like, fair play, Malaga. But this season I'm a bit like, oh, that's a bit underwhelming considering it's Andalusia. I'm not criticizing our fans, but it's sort of a bit of a shock for me.
I mean, it's not a dead rubber as we first thought when I apologize for writing the wrong tweets out. We haven't made the playoffs yet, but I don't know. Does this show a bit of frustration with the fans? Maybe. I mean, the Malaga fans follow him through thick and thin. We clearly know that, as we've been through very, very thick over recent years. So I wouldn't have thought it's that, but I suppose it might just be the demand. Like, you know better than anyone, Matt, the traveling, what the Malaga fans do week in, week out. They might be saving it for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well,
go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to be fair, it's the arse end of Andalusia. It's not down the road, is it? It's still a 3-hour drive minimum, maybe, for 6 o'clock on a Sunday night as well. That's the killer for it. I imagine if you had this at 12 o'clock dinner time, like a lot of the kickoffs have been, then there'd be a bigger uptake in tickets. But, to see Malaga, who are consistently drawing games and playing very unflattering football, play against a team which is basically all but practically relegated, it's hard to get a little bit of a tingle in your crotch about this match, isn't it? So I understand. I'm kind of tempted not to watch as well, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd rather be in the beer garden.
Yeah. Well, I will be there. I am part of the 350 or so at the moment. Obviously, it's Thursday. There's still a few days before the game. But still, good turnout compared to the rest of Spanish football. And we're in the third tier. So, all good again. Hey, let's talk about the previous time we played San Fernando. We won 1-0. Anyone remember who scored?
No idea.
I believe
Matt, who scored?
I'm not too sure.
It was a Victor Garcia sort of shot at the goalie, and the goalie thought, I've palmed this out. And who's there with a big header? It was young Kevin to send it goalwards. And I think I'm right in saying, no, I'm almost certain I'm right in saying it's the only time I've seen him score live.
No.
But he hasn't scored there, to be fair.
Is this the game where he did the sun celebration thing to the camera?
No,
crossing the hands or something.
No, that was when he did. I can't remember who he was against. Remember, it might have been Recreativo Granada. But he shot and it deflected, so he sort of claimed the goal, and then they took it off him.
That sounds very. Sounds a lot more like Kevin.
Because of course he celebrates. Yeah.
I do remember this game being the game where we kind of went, "Oh, is Kevin finally arrived?" And then we were like, "Next week, no, he's not. He's not."
I think he's building. I think we'd agreed he had arrived in the weeks before this, and yeah, of course, this is probably where it started to slide a bit.
You're wrong.
Tell you what, though, like I remember the goal. I watched the highlights back of this yesterday. We create loads of chances. It was a bit like, oh, I don't remember us doing all these chances. We were really like Roberto kept fluffing them, or the goalie was saving them, but it was quite fun to watch us like pummel San Fernando, and we just couldn't
I think score. I can remember from this game as well, Matt, that they were a very dirty team as well, San Fernando.
Yes.
I don't think the referee had this wasn't the game where we had the female official, was it? Or running on the lines, lady. Someone's just jumped to me about that.
The female official.
But the one thing what stood out to me with San Fernando, I thought their kit were beautiful. However, some people didn't, because am I right in thinking it's sponsored by it's got a great big M on it? I think it's something to do with McDonald's.
Yeah, it was. They do have a McDonald's sponsor on it. Yeah, I think it really split the crowd a little bit. And on your point, them being a dirty side as well, just for this game, if you go on B Soccer, it tells you sort of like all the preview beforehand. They've currently got 5 players one yellow card away from suspension. In theory, they could have 5 players suspended for the second to last game of the season because they are just dirty bastards, like you said, Luke.
Yeah, this was the game I took Gibbo to his first ever experience of La Rosaleda. And I think I brainwashed him a bit because he was like, that Kevin's really good, isn't he? I was like, isn't he just?
I'm sure, Matt, you'll know better if you've recently watched the highlights, but I think we played really well in the first half. Expected us to go on to win 2 or 3, and it just didn't happen.
No, from the highlights.
The way around or anything.
No, I think we just consistently, like, there was that Roberto smashed one over when he was like one-on-one with the keeper. He hits one at the goalie. Danny Sanchez hits one over. There's like passes across the box we don't get on the end of. Yeah, it was.
I just remember us being really excited by the fact that there was a name on the team sheet that we recognised from outside of
two names. Oh, they've got
Biani. This is mint. And then when he turned up, he was absolutely dog shit. Considering how rapid he used to be as well. And they tried playing him long ball all the time. And he was so slow. Like, don't get me wrong, he's nearly 40 now, playing in Spanish 30. But like he was so underwhelming. And obviously he's still there and he's gonna, take us to the cleaners in his own stadium now, apparently. But yeah, it was a very one-sided game last time out. And it'd be a real test for Pellicer under the pressure that he's been under to go away here and get like a really thumping result. To a team that have been this poor, it would help really silence some critics at the minute. And my big concern is that we're not going into playoffs with any kind of momentum at all. It feels like we're on the beach. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. We need a point to qualify for the playoffs. However, if we go there and get a point, normally your fans would be buzzing with that. You're like, well, we're in the playoffs. We're where we deserve to be, basically. But I really think we need to go there and win, just to get the good feel from the fans, etc. back. Because it's weird because we're fourth in the league, but everything seems just really negative at the moment. The play, the way we talk it week in, week out currently, because the performance has been terrible.
It's probably quite a good place to go for both clubs to be on the beach, because it's very close to the beach and the sea. San Fernando, and also like it's you said about Jonathan Biabani, but it is home to one of the most famous people in sort of recent Spanish history. It's the birthplace of Cameron. I don't know if I probably hadn't heard of Cameron until I moved here. I don't know if you guys are aware of Cameron. He's
Jeff, the US international football centre back.
Not quite. No. Cameron is in the shrimp. He's the shrimp.
Of course.
Yeah, he's probably like the most sort of celebrated flamenco singer and dancer in Spanish history, and he's from San Fernando, and there's a statue of him, and so I will try and find. He's like some sort of like gypsy god, basically, in Spain. I'm not really. I have given flamenco dancing like a listen, and like it's fun when you're walking around the streets of like Andalusia. And
have you gave it a go though, Matt? More importantly,
I realized I started that sentence badly, and it sounded like that. And it adds to the ambience. But I thought the other day, I keep hearing about Cameron, and there is a Netflix documentary about him. But I'll just listen to the music, and when you just listen to flamenco, I do struggle a bit. It's not.
The thing is, Matt, you're in the perfect place to maybe go for a nice tea time wonder, listening to the flamenco.
Yeah.
If Nick's a dying, but mind you, you've got a seaside, Nick. If I were walking through farm fields listening to flamenco, it doesn't quite have the same feel.
No, I'm a very cultured man as well, so I listen to flamenco all the time, just for a bit of rhythm more than anything. But no, to be honest, it went above my head. If I'm honest with you, more Jeff Cameron, less Cameron. Yeah, in my house, but it's a lot bigger around that neck of the woods compared to Malaga as well, isn't it? Especially around like Seville and places. It's the birthplace of it, really.
Yeah, it's Granada is this bit of a scene as well, but yeah, I'd say Seville's the big place. Just to add to the Cameron thing, because I did get like, I forgot about him, because I remember I watched some of the Netflix documentary about him. I don't know why I didn't finish it, but he is big enough that Mick Jagger begged him to perform with the Rolling Stones, and he kept turning them down. That's how cool he was, and he's one of these guys that died of lung cancer in his 40s because he smoked himself to death. So
how How long are you in San Fernando for, Matt? Just the day?
Yeah. So I think
I'm going to say, is there a little Cadiz trip in there? But if you're only there for the day, obviously not.
Yeah. And I've been to Cadiz a couple of times now. I want to see San Fernando as you know. I don't think there's too much there. I've been through it before, and we are aware of an English-speaking San Fernando fan now who is trying to arrange to meet drinks with me. So we'll see if that comes about.
One question I will have, and probably not a question, more of a statement. Shit stadium. I don't know if you've seen a picture of the stadium. Fucking awful.
I think Matt mentioned it the other night.
Yeah. Like stadium. When I've been to Cadiz on the train, it literally the train stops outside the stadium because that's how I knew San Fernando were. Because when I was there, I was like, oh, I wonder who plays in that stadium, and that's how I found out the first time.
What a bit shit team plays in that shit stadium.
Yeah,
Jonathan Biabiani.
Basically, yeah. And I was like, oh, what lowly division do these guys play in? And now here I am. I was going to say as well, just in case for those that don't know, Jonathan Biabiani did play for Inter Milan and won the Club World Cup with them. For those that didn't listen to our show when we played them the first time round, in case you're wondering, who is this famed Jonathan Biabiani?
Very fast once upon a time.
Yeah. Palmer as well, wasn't he? I think he only exclusively played for those two clubs.
Just bounced back and forth. The other name, by the way, and I don't remember mentioning his name last time we did this. Maybe I missed him, or maybe I did. I can't remember. But Daniel Aquino.
Yes, finally. I'll just jump in there, Matt. Basically, football manager legend.
Yeah.
A few years ago, legend. Wonder the left foot. I never actually saw this guy play or in person, but you know when you've got a vision of a player on Footy Manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
Left foot. But
I've never seen him play, but the computer told me he's going to wander the left foot.
Honestly, football manager doesn't lie. But I'm sure I remember from this game as well that we were actually very impressed with him because he had the long hair, didn't he, up front? Maybe. And if anything, he was one of their players who actually looked like he could play football. But he's also their top goal scorer. He's got 9 goals this season. On his day, I think he can still be a good player. Whereas, like we say, Jonathan Biabiani, I may have just jinxed this. And he's going to run as ragged. But yeah, a good player.
Because I saw Aquino, because I think on Football Manager, he was just called Aquino. He wasn't called Daniel Aquino. Because he came from Murcia. But I did sort of go onto his Wikipedia page and stuff. Did you see about his debut for Atletico Madrid? So he did have one game for Atletico Madrid where Diego Simeone brought him off the bench, and in the first minute he set up Diego Costa. I was like, oh, that's a fun debut.
Wonder the left foot. Yeah,
and just quickly, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, and I don't think it's a good thing for Malaga, but the San Fernando manager, Nano Rivas, it is only his second game in charge. He's only just taken over. He's had one game so far.
And lost. More importantly, lost. So maybe he's not getting the new manager bounce kind of thing, which a lot of Malaga fans are currently asking for.
Yeah, he's not getting that Pepe Mel vibes, is he? Who's in there picking up.
But I was curious because I don't know if this is the case all the time. I don't really know many people called Nano. And I was wondering, that must be short for something. And his full name is Victoriano Rivas. So he's got victory in his name and our favourite beer all in one. But I quite like that he went for Nano over Victor there. He's been out in Belgium before this as well. He hasn't managed for a long time, though. He was at Rosaleda, I think is how you say it. I don't think that is how you say it, actually. But
we'll take it.
Sounds very French, that, Matt.
Yeah. And he was at your new favourite destination, Luke. He was at Gimnàstic Tarragona before that. Twice. Anyway, not many games. Anyway, let's talk a bit more about Malaga Club de Football. I think it's fair to say we are excited to have Roberto back. Me and Luke spoke about it earlier in the week. Nick, any thoughts on Dione's efforts up front last week?
Did you describe it as effort? I think maybe being kind.
Nearly.
I think I made more of of an effort to watch the game back at the time, whilst I was also trying to tandem watch The Little Mermaid. But yeah, I think Roberto coming back in, it'll be. He's always a big miss. He's your talisman. He's the one who's leading the line. But even he's got off the boil in the last few weeks. So a bit of a fun day out in San Fernando and scoring a couple of goals will hopefully do him the world of good and inspire him to drag us across the line, maybe.
Yeah, but even, I suppose, like you said, even when he's off the boil, at least he's always offering something, isn't he?
Even when he's off the boil, he's slightly warm. He's tepid. Whereas Dione is just cold.
If there's one player what can change the whole system for Malaga when he's not playing, it is Roberto. With Roberto, we effectively have a press from our number 9. Their back four, what you see is when Dione is playing, a back four is very relaxed with the ball. There's no real urgency to get the ball away. Whereas if you've got a dog like Roberto chasing the ball, they're under pressure constantly. That forces mistakes. Sorry to laugh. Matt's currently doing a Roberto dog impression.
Yeah. Go check it out on YouTube. And the other sort of change to the lineup we should perhaps mention is we've sort of celebrated his performance in the previous game, but as in the previous San Fernando game, we certainly didn't celebrate his performance in the actual previous game for Malaga. Sounds like Kevin is out. Who do you think comes in there, Luke?
For me, we had a good chat the other night, Matt, Antonito. I'd give him a go from the start. I don't think there's anybody else who deserves the place more than anything. I'm sure David Arubia will come in. But yeah, I'd like to see Antonito start, if I'm being honest.
I'd be up for that. But any changes for you there, Nick, or Antonito, or not?
I think obviously bringing back in Manu Molina in place of Ramon is a simple swap.
Yeah.
And Danny Sanchez, I feel like we've not seen him for a while. Not that he did anything wrong or anything like that, and he's not naturally a left winger, but we're so poor in that area, and not poor as in bad players. Because I'm not saying Kevin's a bad player. We're just we're not rich in that area. We don't have many options for left wing or left midfield. So if you've got someone that's got the enthusiasm to put a bit of a shift in, then why not give Danny Sanchez a go?
To be honest with you, until Luke said Antonito, that was going to be my suggestion. It was to do the sort of Victor and Danny Sanchez down the left, and we can sort of interchange. But yeah, I'd be happy with either of those options. My Juan Hernandez will have his day when he's finally fit again.
Would you guys, if you was Sergio Pellicer, be looking at changing the formation at all? Even going back to trying the 3-5-2 thing, what he did, or has he left it too late, or is now the perfect time to try these things ahead of the playoffs?
Well, the other one we haven't mentioned, is obviously Nelson Monte is going to be suspended as well. It's pretty much nailed on. Einar will take that place, but if we did go 3 at the back, it is the Musa opportunity and the John Stones Musa role, as we've all been waiting to see. So I'd actually be well up for it, because if we don't have Kevin, David Ferreiro, although he was brilliant the other day out on the right, he's not a natural winger for me.
He can play a 10, can't he? He could play 10 all day long.
So I'd be well up for that, actually. I think on paper that looked really good. And I think
it's what Pellicer needs to do. He needs to kind of do you know what? He's kind of got to go, well, we've got to go for broke now. I'm not in fucking Popular. I'm probably not going to have a job here next season, because I'll probably leave my own accord, if anything. So just rip the handbrake off and go, fuck it, let's just play mental football. If we get promoted, great. If we don't get promoted, actually, probably what everyone expects of me. So, if you've got players like that at your disposal, like a Musa, who's, an exciting centre, ball-playing centre-back, if you've got an Antonito or even an Isa Marino, instead of bringing in Molina or playing Canaro, you could just go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just thinking when we were talking about Musa, I'm pretty certain the last time he started, and I'm pretty certain we had 3 at the back then, was Alcoyano away, where, of course, we scored 3 goals away. And obviously, they went down to 10 men at one point, but we were looking pretty positive before that. So, to be honest with you, as this podcast develops, I'm like, actually, why aren't we playing 3 at the back?
I dare say if Moose has played 5 times this season, I mean, a good amount of minutes in those games, is effectively being the best player on the pitch during them games. I mean, it was fantastic against Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
Alcoyano, like you say, weird game for a defender playing against 10 men for so long. But there's 5 of us in this Geary cast, and all 5 of us rave about this kid. He should be starting. I can't see why Sergio, but then he comes out and says things like he deserves to play.
Yeah.
Play him then. Come on.
Bloody riddles. I've never known a man like it. He just says one thing and then does completely. I suppose it's like all blokes that way, but yeah, he does completely the opposite. But if we go 5 at the back for these last 3 games and get promoted by it, there's going to be a very angry Argentine man who just thinks it should have been me, the king of 5 at the back, and that was Pablo Guede.
Not again. I thought you gave up on this.
Cisse Guede with Pablo Guede.
Actually, Nick, did you see the clip? I think David Picon retweeted it with Pablo Guede. So whoever is managing these days, I think they're in the qualifiers of the Copa Libertadores, whatever you bloody call it. He's there, and then some player basically gets shoved off the pitch, nails Pablo Guede straight to the floor, and then the clip basically says that he stands up. You'd think a aggressive Argentine manager would jump up and grab him by the throat. He just shouts at his fullback saying "Vamos, vamos, vamos!"
Yeah,
but he gets absolutely flattened.
Just think if Pablo Guede didn't have that job, he could be playing in the Legends game, and Nick would definitely be over for that game then.
I'd be up for that one. The redemption arc would be complete then.
With diamond-studded Armani boots or something like that. Or no, Versace he was. No, what did he wear?
Yeah.
Versace on it. The one player what he's missing from the Legends team is Wanker. What a great player.
Yeah. Well, he's still playing out in Greece, isn't he? He was in the headlines not so long ago, wasn't he? Because he's the
firework or something.
Stadium ban. Tell you just quickly on the Legends game, and we didn't mention it earlier. Apparently, there was a lot of effort into trying to get Dulalan to come back, and they just couldn't get it over the line. But apparently, he was the one they pursued the most. And
was that just for the Legends game or to generally sign?
Well, yeah, I'm assuming just the Legends game, but Genaro's not exactly been pulling up trees recently, so sure he could still step in. That would have been a fun one. I think he's very popular amongst Malaga fans, isn't he? He's even got his own scarf behind the bar in Tito Chato. There's a big Tulalan scarf there. Anyway, guys, the reason I'm talking about Jeremy Tulalan is because I think we've probably covered the last 2 points on the old agenda of any ideas of what we can do in regards of like the lineup or tactics to escape this rut. I think we've all decided we need to go back to a Guede 3 at the back / 5 at the back.
How far we have fallen when we're wishing to go back to a Pablo Guede era style play.
I'm not going that far back, but I think it's just something worth revisiting. Yeah. Things clearly aren't going as they should be right now.
No. And
3-4-3 all the way. Fuck it, just go for it.
And even like we played the 3-4. We played that.
We ain't got 3 centre forwards. We barely got 1.
We played the 3 at the back against Real Sociedad as well, and we took the game to them, and we had to be a bit more head screwed on in that and keep our focus. But it's always worked for us off top. I'm sure there have been games it hasn't this season, which I've forgotten. But yeah, I'm talking myself around to it. Especially now, basically, I think the reason I'm talking myself around to it is because I know Kevin can't play this game. So he's not in jeopardy, but still, he can do the wing back job. I can see it. I can see the wing back in him.
The time when we was playing the 3 at the back was, like you say, Real Sociedad, Castellon. You say Alcoyano away, were it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Alcoyano. We did 4 or 5 games and then got beat and then just completely reverted back to the usual, which, to be fair, has worked throughout the season. It just seems to have ran its course over the last, I don't know what, 2 months, would you say? Month?
you get found out when
Yeah.
you're consistently using the same tactics over and over again. These other managers aren't stupid. They can see what you're doing, and they'll just count you out of it. And they'll go, well, they're going to do that. I know Molina's going to do that. I know Roberto's going to press here. So it's easy to think. Whereas, like you say beforehand, when he was slightly mixing it up a little bit, it makes it more difficult for managers to get on. Whether he's doing that out of lack of options, I don't know. But he definitely needs to do something ahead of the playoffs, because otherwise we're going to go in there, we're going to get absolutely spanked in the first game, and then it's over. You know what I mean? Go home.
Yeah, I agree. Something tactically has to change, or because again, I was thinking as well. I don't know if you saw. I can't remember if it was where he said or if it was post match. Pellicer came out and said the thing we need now is tranquility and calm. I said, well, I don't know if it is.
No.
I don't know if we need a bit more fucking.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to go in there and smash somebody. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. I was trying to do the Roy Keane thing. What does he say? I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
And maybe I just want to hit someone or whatever.
I nearly tried an Irish accent, then I thought I'm going to offend some people.
Because he goes really high when he says that, and I thought I'd do that instead. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have anything really pressing you want to add about this game, because I think we're done otherwise.
Let's get that point. Let's just get that point, and then we are done. But I want 3. I'll be honest, I want 3 points.
Just quickly, we should perhaps mention that as well. I'm glad you've said that. One thing I was going to mention is that we could actually be in the playoffs even before this game has kicked off, because Recreativo play Algeciras the day before. So if they lose, I think that confirms we're in the playoffs. And I'm really caveating that with I think, because I don't want to be the one to get it wrong, but I'm pretty certain that if they lose, we're done. So we might even be in the playoffs 24 hours before this game even kicks off. So
there is a great opportunity again for maybe the 6th or 7th week on the bounce to overtake Ibiza as well. Ibiza away at Castellón. Castellón, I imagine, will they be lifting the trophy this weekend? So they'll be up for it.
That shows me how poor we've been. We've not even been able to catch Ibiza, who've been dropping like a rock.
Yeah. When I write the weekend's results out, regular has been Ibiza failed to win a game. Ibiza on this horrible run, and then you're thinking, how the fuck have we not overtaken Ibiza during all this?
Yeah, well, that's it. It shows how, I love this league for what it is. There's some of its parts, and that is fun places to visit. They announced the fixtures for half the season in one big go. But I tell you what, the fucking level of football is dog shit. The fact that we haven't been caught by anyone since fucking November says everything you need to know about how this league operates and works. And, it's good for us, I suppose. But Jesus Christ, if we were playing the Championship, we probably got relegated.
Yeah, absolutely. All right then, guys. Should we call it a day there? I don't know, unless you want to just say another Malaga legend's name and just go down that route, or we can just wrap up. I'll take that as
I think we'll wrap up.
Yeah, we'll wrap. Live stream on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. I'm available, Nick. So we should be back.
See if we can put out there. Only a few more games to fit in, so we'll squeeze in as many as we can before we do. But other than that, I wonder if the Legends game will be on YouTube. I think maybe we need to ask the club that, because that'd be a good watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be a good live stream.
Yeah, I can watch on the train.
Good live stream with some Kanyas.
Yeah, definitely.
Kanyas and memories. That could be the name of the live stream. Anyway, I will say thank you, Nick Bell.
Thank you very much, boys. Always a pleasure.
And thank you, Luke Chambers.
Thank you very much, mate. Enjoy your evening and enjoy your week, everybody.
Lovely stuff. And thank you guys for listening. Go and share this out with all the usual folk and listen to us on your podcast apps and watch us on the YouTube. Thank you for listening. Adios and vamos, Malaga.